There are so many ridiculous questions that are meant to be thought-provoking, meant to make people really ruminate on the deep philosophical conundrum that it provokes, but all it does is just provide an easily answerable question. An example would be the old unanswerable question of, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, then does it make a sound? And it's supposed to be very, very deep, very thought-provoking, very unanswerable. But in truth, it's just a rather simple answer one way or the other. If we interpret it to mean that the production of a sound that is not heard and is not registered by an organic brain as sound, if that means there is no sound, then the tree falling in the woods does not make a sound. And it's a very clear-cut, simple answer. On the other hand, if we interpret the meaning of making a sound to be just the production of vibrations that result in sound waves, whether or not they're picked up by any living creature's ears and registered in their brains as observable sound, if we take that to be the meaning, then, well, the tree falling in the forest does make a sound. Either way, it's very clear. It's a yes or a no answer to the question. It's not unanswerable. It's not as deep as someone asking it may believe. There's so many questions like that that are meant to provoke deep, intense thought and contemplation on the nature of things, and that's an admirable goal in and of itself, but these questions are not the way to achieve that goal, because these questions are actually very simple and they aren't terribly profound. For example, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Well, this is the sound of one hand clapping. There you go. That's the sound of one hand clapping. And of course, it's not meant to be taken completely literally. I understand that. I understand that these questions, there's a certain element of, you're supposed to interpret them metaphorically, and it's supposed to mean things beyond the literal question itself. And that's fine, but at the same time, it's important to recognize that this is the case so often with philosophical prompts and things that are meant to be deep and profound, that they aren't as profound as the people offering them might believe.